original Season 5, Episode 2, One Wrong Turn on Bourbon. This is an interesting episode for sure. Sorry that this review is a week late, not that anybody really cares, but just super busy last week, so I'm doing it now. Fortunately, I don't have to wait super long because I'm going to get some of the answers I've been looking for with Elijah in the episode that airs tonight, so I'm super excited for that. But this is definitely a fun episode. We have Klaus, of course, returning home because Haley's up and vanished, and it was a very interesting story because, of course, we have kind of two sides. It's like, all right, Haley's missing, Klaus has returned, so we get to see his relationship kind of, in a sense, reignite with his daughter, which I thought was cool. And we also get to see the young actress come back. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. They're going to do flashbacks throughout the season. And we find out that basically the last real interaction that they had was when she did astral projection, and the first thing she sees, of course, is Klaus being Klaus, and he's ripping somebody's heart out. And so after that, it was like, okay, well, freaked out my daughter, and also, after that, it's like, I'm not going to send any letters. I'm just going to stop because that hurts her too much, and that's why she came to see me, and that's why she saw that. So instead of kind of working it out, he just stopped. And Klaus, but it was interesting. It was definitely interesting watching that play out, and they're too close, so we've gone from flowers dying to water turning into blood to just snakes forming just out of nothingness. So that was pretty crazy. Just throughout the episode, little snakes coming up, and then eventually, one I guess just appears inside of Hope's body, and it like crawls out of her mouth. So pretty insane. It's just getting more and more dangerous for her. But it does end with Klaus saying that he loved her and stuff. So kind of giving her that idea like, hey, I do still love you. He's just kind of dumb about stuff. Sometimes he just takes off. But definitely a fun episode. And of course, we have Marcel doing his thing, coming back as, the king and everything. And it's different. It's definitely different. And, they talk about how Josh has been the one kind of in control for 7 years, which I thought was cool. And I was thinking about just watching this episode. I was just like, I'm glad Josh is like just a main character in the show. He just came in. He was just the dude that was hanging out with Davina. And then he died. Then he's a vampire. And now he's like, second in command now that Marcel is back. But he was the one keeping things going. It was like, it was just cool. It's like, Josh is an awesome character, so I'm glad he's in the show. But I like how they play things out. They have like this huge deal. Of course, we have this new hybrid, and he kills a vampire, so everybody's freaking out, and it's, powder keg waiting to go off as usual. But it seemed like everything was working. It was like, okay, they're going to go into, some issue later on. But throughout the episode, it's like, all right, we're not just going to like kill the kid off or anything like that. We're going to dry him out. He'll, do his bit of time, let him free. He'll be one of my guys. He'll be protected. Everything's going to be fine. And it seemed to work. It was sucked, and, it sucked for him. It was sad. But it was like, okay, this is, a little bit of balance here. And, the whole thing with Haley, we find out that it was actually Hope that did it so that she could see Klaus, which I thought was a nice little twist. But then, of course, it's like, okay, well, that's supposed to wrap up nice and neat. And then she's vanished. So somebody went after her. And it was a crazy, insane fight. So she may or may not still be sleeping. I would assume not because of the crazy fight. So don't know what the deal is with that. But somebody went and got her. Maybe they beat her. If it was a bunch of people, they knocked her out or whatever. And then the kid at the end actually gets set free by someone. I would assume it's either the same person or group of people. And they actually kill him and hang him. They rip his heart out and everything. And I was just like, man, I was just super curious. I was like, all right, so how is this going to end up playing out? Who is doing this, for one? Like, somebody wants this to be, things to go really crazy. And, of course, we have Vincent, who's, still freaking out, trying to figure out what in the world do we do next? What is our future, pretty much? And it's absolute chaos, destruction. It's the originals. So things aren't looking too great. And then, of course, it ends where it's like, all right, well, Haley's vanished, and also the kid is dead and just being hung up, like, in the square for people to see. So I don't know where we're headed. They don't really show anything for the next episode outside of the Elijah stuff, which I'm definitely curious about. But of course, I want some answers. Who is the new villain coming in? Why are they doing this? How do they even know about Haley? Because I feel like that's an important question to ask, considering Hope did the spell herself. Who knew about that? Like, how is this playing out? So definitely a lot of questions going forward. But I definitely love this episode. It was like, everything that could go wrong pretty much did. It seemed like it was going to play out kind of nice. It was like, oh, Haley was knocked out, but they found out where she was. So it was like, they're going to get her. Unfortunately, the kid has to basically go to jail for a few years, but yeah, it's fine. He's not being killed. Everything's cool. It'll balance itself out. And then Haley's gone and the kid is dead. So now it's just chaos. And that powder keg, I think this was pretty much it. The next episode that is wolves versus vampires. Like, that's just how it's about to play out. So It's about to get worse because that's what happens in the originals. It just gets bad, and then the last second, everything's cool. But definitely looking forward to the next episode. But of course, would love to know what you guys thought about this one. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts about it, least favorite parts about it. And even though it's super early and there's pretty much like just nothing there, I would love to know your theories on who the new villain is. If I had to throw out a guess, I would honestly say it's probably one of the people that Klaus was hunting. That just seems like a cool way to do it because he's been going on this crazy tirade, wiping out all of their, family's enemies. And it's like, okay, well, eventually people are going to kind of hear about that. And it's like, all right, Klaus is going on a tirade. It's, Klaus the Mad. He's wiping out all these families. Maybe he missed somebody, or, he just assumed they were dead, or the rest of the family lied and said they were dead. So now this last person is coming back like, all right, gotta take this person out, or at least kidnap them or do something, and gotta just set things off because I know that the Michelsons love their town. And maybe that's what's happening. Like him wiping out all these families, as usual, triggered somebody to be super pissed off, and so they came back to town. I was like, well, now I'm gonna really screw things up for you and your daughter because I know she matters. So that would be my theory right now, is that there's just someone he didn't get to yet, or maybe just somebody that he missed, and they're coming in to just ruin things for him because he was going crazy for the past couple of years. So that's my theory on it, but we'd love to know your theory on who the new villain is. And of course, just what you guys thought about this episode in general. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.